Hey, what is up, guys? It is SMG for Life 01 coming in with this video today, talking to you guys about my water cooling experience. So, pretty much a couple of weeks ago, actually, or about a week ago. Week ago. I don't know that song, but my friends sing it all the time. But yeah, about a week ago, I actually it's been a week actually, since I have water cooled, like custom loop water cooled my PC. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about my experience with doing this. I had my best friend with me, who's also on YouTube. His name is Dan on YouTube, I think. I can't remember, because we don't actually use YouTube much anymore. Even though I seriously want to get back on YouTube, I'm definitely thinking about doing it, because I am going to do it, and that's why I'm making this video. So as you guys can see behind me, you see that extra green PC. So that's a PC I built, or started to build, in November of 2014, at the end of November. And I've progressively bought parts, because I'm not getting paid a substantial amount to be able to build a PC within 2 months. I was buying parts individually because I would end up spending a lot of money during them months. But I was able to get some money together. I bought this, which is an i7 4790K, which does run pretty hot, with normal water cooling, which is single fan and all that good stuff. I actually, when I had the H80i, which is what I had before, I actually never tested Real Temp, which is the application I use to actually benchmark the temperatures that I'm getting now. So I'm guessing that Corsair was kind of like showing me something different, maybe, because I was getting 26 and stuff like that, and I doubt I was actually getting that much cooling from the H80i, unless it's because I'm not using the right fans at the moment. That could be a factor into it, but I am getting new fans soon, so hopefully that will help a lot. But yes, again, talking about the water cooling experience, some of you guys may know that there's obviously people out there who have done water cooling for several years, or there's people out there who have done water cooling for like the first time, which is basically me. I started thinking about water cooling early in January, and then I decided, okay, in February I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna put it together along with a lot of parts. So stuff that can go wrong with water cooling is obviously leaks and stuff, and those things you shouldn't really worry about too much. But I have something here that you can actually cool your PC with. So I use the Phobos Super Zero Clear ready to use coolant, which is a pre-mixed coolant, which I can say that it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's usable for a substantial amount of time. But there is also another option, which is literally using water, which is distilled water or deionized water, and this is deionized water. If you guys are wondering, I have a 5-liter bottle of it and I haven't even used it. I opened it to clean out the tubing and the radiator, and I bought it for £8, which is pretty much a rip-off, but I needed it ASAP so I can get this done. But yeah, deionized water or distilled water, and this is for car batteries. It works the same. And actually, when I do clear out my loop, I'm going to use this instead, to actually put water in instead of using coolant. But if you're using something like that, you will need to use a biocide or bioadditive to the water to kind of stop corrosion or stop any bacteria growing in the water over time. Or you can use a copper kill coil. Silver kill coil, which you can use inside the reservoir. So obviously you have multiple things that you need to have for a water cooling loop, a custom loop. You need a water block, which goes onto your CPU or GPU. I'm maybe going to water cool GPUs. I'm not too sure yet, but hopefully I can. Water cooling GPU, or GPU block or CPU block. Those are the two you can get. There's obviously your fittings, which you can have barb fittings or compression fittings. I have compression fittings and I have one angled fitting, which probably costs about a £5, or maybe more than that, because they do tend to cost a lot of money, because I did a custom loop test when I was trying to order one, and it came to about £200. This was £113 for this one, and I just had to spend an extra £40, actually £60, getting a radiator, because The radiator that originally came with it is 60mm deep. By the way, I'm also selling that radiator along with the HAEI. I'm selling both of them. £50 for the radiator and £30 for the HAEI, which is a good price for HAEI. It's in good condition. I've only had it for a few months, 4 months. So yeah, so obviously there's a radiator, reservoir, tubing, fittings, and the block for either CPU, GPU, whatever you want. Also, one thing you do need in your water cooling loop is a pump, which is something that pumps the water around the tubing and to the components, and that is one thing I missed out in the videos. So those are the 5 things you really need for water cooling. Literally it comes to a point where you're like, do you want to water cool, or do you just want to go for all-in-one unit? To be honest, if you don't want to go through all the hassle of having to take out your CPU block and or cleaning with the maintenance and stuff, I don't mind it, because I kind of want to just go through it, because I want to see if I actually do like it, or if I don't like it, that I can actually be like, okay, I don't want this, I'm gonna go back to this. So really and truly, after actually using this radiator, this is a 240mm radiator. After using this and using like benchmarking and all that, all them kind of stress tests, it's pushing air out of the system, all the hot air that's building up on the radiator, pushing all that out of the system, and then it's pushing that into the atmosphere. So if you guys are thinking, oh, fan cooling is different, it is different. It's a different experience. Fan is blowing air into the computer and blowing air out of the computer, doing it instantly. With this, water's heating up, going to your CPU, going to the radiator, and then the radiator from that one point is extracting all that heat, or trying to, and that's why sometimes your room can get pretty hot by doing this kind of water cooling, which I've kind of seen, and I don't like it, because I hate the heat. So I have to leave my windows open most of the day, which obviously I'm at the top of the house, so the top of the house means the heat rises, so I get all the heat basically, but sometimes it's really cold in here, so that's sometimes a plus side. But yeah, with the experience, obviously it's scary at first, like, oh, I'm gonna pour water into my computer, what if it leaks? That's one of the main thoughts that was running through my mind when I was doing it. I was like, oh, I might not cut the tubing properly. I did go through, like, I checked the tubing. I didn't actually check it, but I looked at the tubing, and it's like, oh, is it broken? And I did come to snags where the tubing wasn't long enough, or it was too long, and then I had to trim it down to fit it. And I'm gonna show you guys my PC from the tubing, and possibly I might take the case side panel off so you guys can see inside the case, hopefully. But yeah, from the whole experience wise, it is a fun experience. It takes a long time to do, so it took me from 5 o'clock in the evening. Whoa. Yeah, it took me from 5 o'clock in the evening till 11 p.m. at night. So that was just to get everything together. Actually, it took until about 10 o'clock to actually get everything plugged in, all the water in, and then just cycling the power supply to see if it's working. So that was a good thing. Once it cycled for about an hour or 2 hours, I was like, I ain't leaving this on for 24 hours, because obviously that's for leak testing. So I was leak testing the whole thing. I had paper towels around the graphics card, because usually that's where it'd fall onto the graphics card if it did leak, which luckily it didn't. So it was a win-win for me. It won, and I'm able to use the computer straight away. I did have a power cut the day after I did it, in the morning, like early morning, like 3-4 o'clock, and I didn't know, but I was scared. I was like, oh shit, did I do something wrong to the computer? Is there something that I didn't, is there not enough thermal paste? Because I've had the issue before, there was not enough thermal paste, or too much thermal paste, and it was just it just kept shutting itself down. So I didn't actually know it was that, so I was stress testing the PC, seeing if it was going to shut down. It didn't shut down, so I was thankful enough for that. But I did do a Prime 95 test. I don't even know if Prime 95 is compatible or something, but it took the CPU all the way up to 95 degrees. I'm guessing because it's called Prime 95, it was actually doing that on purpose. But also I can kind of see that happening with a with a radiator that doesn't have high pressure fans, which is something I need to buy, which costs quite a bit of money, but I'm gonna hopefully get them soon. Right now I have Phobia fan or Phoba fans, and they're red LED, which literally my computer, the top, I've taken the top bit off the computer. There's like a little like fan grill which I've taken off so that the air can just come out anyway. So it's better that way, so that air can just come out instead of having a mesh grill over the top of it that's like actually thick. It's like that thick, and it's stopping air from flowing. So I did that because I needed to kind of I need new fans, so that's what I'm kind of waiting for. Yeah, it's been awesome, and if you guys are wanting to do it because you want to do it, not because someone said for you to do it, or like you just want to do it, and then call your friend over to help you, because it does take kind of like 2 people to do it. It doesn't really, but I would say have someone with you if it's your first time. If you've done it before, then not too much. I could have done it myself, but running the tubing would have been a hectic thing for me. Like, really, I don't mind having long tubing, but yeah, it's not a fun thing to have long tubing and then having the tubing hanging everywhere. But luckily enough, I can I'm swapping out my graphics card this month, so I'm getting a 980, which is woohoo, finally. And I'll be able to swap out that graphics card for my 7950, which I don't know what I'm going to do with it, whether I'm going to put it in another PC. Actually, I'll probably put it back in my old computer, which is an i5. This is an i7 4790K, like I said before. And I've got 32 gigs of RAM in this bitch, so I have so much stuff that is just like 32 gigs of RAM. I didn't actually pay for 16 gigs of that RAM, so I was lucky. At Christmas time, it was basically a Christmas present from the company I bought it from. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back real soon. Also, if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, the links are down below. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all down below. You guys can follow me because I'm going to be streaming quite often now. So because I'm starting to use the Raptor software on the AMD graphics, so I'm using that, so it's fun to use. By the way, I've also got green LEDs in the case, so that kind of reminds me I need to kind of mess with them today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Whee!